Hello everyone, my name is Michaela, I am the Cinematic Stitcher, and welcome to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back, and if you are new here, I hope you like what you see, and if you do, hit that little subscribe button down there and you'll get some more. All right, I've got a few things to cover today. I've got some thank yous, I have a finish, very exciting. I have some whips, a very small amount of haul, some Stitchy Kindness, my very first Stitchy Kindness, oh my god, Flosstube 3, Stitchy Kindness already, really amazing. I also, what else do I have? Oh, we'll talk about plans too. And yeah, we will cap off the video the way I normally do, which is what I'm reading, watching, playing, which, spoiler alert, I haven't been doing very much of anything right now other than work. We're releasing a game in a week, so things are like, they're just very high stress. Like, it's amazing. I love my job. I love where I work, but yeah, it's just like, there's just a lot going on right now. I've got like, working late nights, early mornings, weekends, all of it. So it's like, don't really have a lot of time for anything. Stitching has been my salve, let's just say, my mental salve for all the things we deal with day to day. Anyway, let's get into things, shall we? Yes, so I would like to start off with two thank yous. Super massive thank you to both Marjorie Maid and the Seattle Stitcher. They recommended me on some of their most recent videos to their viewers, which is just like seriously so touching and amazing. I'm so happy that you like what I'm doing enough to recommend me to the people who follow you. So huge thank you for that. That really means a lot. Super cool too, because I've been like, I watched Marjorie like from the second she started her channel, and the Seattle Stitcher I've been watching since like last summer, I guess. So anyway, it's just really fun to, I don't know, see that. It just feels nice. So thank you. All right, let's talk about my finish. So I did talk about this piece in my last video and how I wanted to finish it by the end of the month. I'm filming this a little earlier than I normally do. It's April 30th right now. I typically film these after work, but my husband is on tour right now. He's actually coming back today, and I'm like, free weekend where I can actually use daylight? Because I don't have a ring light yet. So we're just gonna use the very gloomy gray Vancouver sky to light me. That's why I'm filming today. It was so sunny yesterday, actually. Like it felt like summer. It was like 25 degrees here. It was hot. But now we're back to the gray. Anyway, so I'm filming on the last day of the month, and I just finished this morning. The piece I am speaking of is, of course, Data Portraits in Paris, 1900, from Shaded Stitchery, and this is what it looks like. Oh yeah. So gorgeous. Like, absolutely love this piece. I'm trying to get the light to hit it a bit better. We're gonna get a ring light one day, guys, don't worry. I'll get my life together at some point and we'll get a ring light. But for now, this is what we got. But isn't that like just so beautiful? So I stitched this on 28 count fog from Picture This Plus. I used the DMCs and it just looks lovely. If you want to know a bit more about this project, because each of these little motifs here actually represents a graph, and Shaded Stitchery has all this information on her Instagram. And what I did when I was stitching this was each time I completed a motif, I added a picture of it to my story, and then I shared her post that included the image of the original graph. And I have that all saved in my story highlights. So if you want to follow me and check that out, you can find me at Cinematic on Instagram. Not Cinematic Stitches, just Cinematic there. The E is still a 3 though. Gotta throw you people off, apparently. Can't have just anybody following me, you gotta know. Anyway, yeah, so you can find out more about this there, but like seriously, look, I really love this. I haven't fully decided how I finish it yet, but I think I will probably go with probably just a frame because it's like perfectly square. That'd look nice framed. That's what I say. We're gonna frame this eventually. We'll see when. I don't know when, but we'll see. So this was one of my focus pieces for the month. And the other one was the chopping maul from the Witchy Stitcher. So this one was actually the subject of both my Whip Go pulls this month. I was asked, the pulls were to complete one room for each pull. So I had to complete 2 rooms in the chopping maul, and I did that. Here's my chopping maul so far. I love this. As I have said in every video, I'm a massive horror fan, so this is like super exciting for me. So the last time I made a video, and I did not take a picture, oops, I'm getting better. I took pictures of the other projects. But the last time I did a floss tube, I had finished the outline of this room, and I think I'd started on the outline of Ghostface. But now it is complete, and you can see all the little details. It's very cute. So we got Ghostface from Scream. He has a mobile phone stand because of course he does. If you don't know anything about Scream, he calls you up. He'll call you up, chat to you, freak you out a bit before he stabs you to death. Very exciting. I love the original Scream so much. It's so good. I haven't seen the newest one yet though. I don't really go to the theaters much anymore, which is wild because pre-pandemic, I went all the time. I would go to see like everything at the theater. Now, yeah, the last time I was at the theater, what did I watch? I saw Infinity Pool, which was a lot of fun. But I have not seen Scream. Anyway, and over here is Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he's got a little sewing shop. He'll hem your pants. And maybe your legs as well with this little guy. I think last time I made this video, I was like, is his name Sawyer? Like, what? But apparently that's just the name of the redneck family. They're the Sawyers. I've only seen Texas Chainsaw in its entirety once, and that was just a couple years ago. So I am not fully familiar with the Texas Chainsaw lore. I enjoy the film, but I'm just not one that I've seen a lot of. But I love him. I love his wild hair. Got his pretty lady makeup on. And ooh, one of my favorite things about this project is I'm using the Etoile. I think that's what it's called, right? The shiny thread. Yeah, there you go. It kind of picks up a bit. So the blood is shiny. So that's fun. And then down below, we have Jason Voorhees in security. He's having a good time down here. He's got his little water cooler full of blood. He's got his task for the day on his computer. It's Friday the 13th after all. But yeah, I just love this. So freaking cute. So anyway, you are going to be seeing quite a bit of this project because it got called again for Whip Go for May. We'll talk about that more in plans, but let's just say this will be back. But yeah, so these 2 pieces were my big focuses this month. It's pretty much all I worked on, with the exception of 2 other projects, which I got a day on each. So one of those projects was this one here. There Is Always Room from Maximum Cross Stitch, which I love, 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 love. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. Here, this is what it's supposed to look like. I'm like, maybe I'll actually show you what the pattern is supposed to look like when it's finished. I'll put a picture up here of where I was last time. I had just done the green border with the little acorns, flower buds, whatever they are. So when it's finished, it's gonna look like this. I absolutely love it. There's a little kitty here, the little doggy. I look after my neighbor's dog quite often, and this dog is giving me big Otis energy, and Otis is the name of that dog. So very exciting. I'm gonna pretend that's Otis, and I'm gonna pretend this is my cat Husker. BFFs forever. They're not actually BFFs. Otis is terrified of the cat. They're about the same size. I have a big cat, and the cat is indifferent to the dog, but also likes to keep an eye on him, you know? Anyway. So I worked on this yesterday, and what I added in were those 4 red flowers, which look very beautiful. And I also did this like little strip here with my leftover thread, basically. So this is gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be a rose, but it's gonna be another kind of flower. Yeah, that's what I was doing yesterday. Looks absolutely lovely. I wanted to keep stitching on this so bad, but I was quite literally falling asleep while I was stitching this yesterday. I was like, I would put my needle in the fabric and just be like, like, I'm really tired. Let's just say that. I'm just ready to sleep for 5 years, but that's fine. Yeah, it wasn't even that late. It was like 11. Like, oh my God, wake up. But anyway, I'm loving this. So I'm focusing on this quadrant right now. I was like, part of me was like, oh, let's just do like the full, like a full half of the border. But I think I'm gonna get bored if I do that. I really wanna start working on some of the inner motifs. So we're gonna work on this quadrant here. I think I still have to add a green, like a complementary green to go beside this one on the rest of the border. But yeah, then I'm going to work on filling in like this section here before I start like continuing on this way. But I'm really, really loving this project. I am stitching this on 36 count porcelain that I got from Evertotes. I am also stitching it with Roxy Flossco threads. And you can basically get this as like a full, well, not a full kit, but like a partial kit from Evertotes website. So I got the paper pattern and all the threads you need for it, like all the Roxy Flossco threads as a pack basically. And then I just bought the fabric from their website as well, threw it all in the cart, and bing, bang, boom. Basically like a full kit. But anyway, loving it, absolutely loving it. It's my first time stitching 36 count, my first time doing just like one thread over 2. And I think it's looking quite nice. I know, like, I've heard tell that 36 count can sometimes be like a little iffy, like some fabrics are more spacious, so maybe you want to add 2, but then sometimes 2 threads is like too squishy for a 36 count, and like whatever. It sounds like, well, I'm sure there's some people out there who prefer a 36, but it sounds like there's a lot more people who prefer 40 because like you're for sure good with just one thread, and you know it's not gonna, and you're gonna get good coverage with that. I'm quite liking the 36 with one thread personally. It's a good time. All right, enough about that. The last whip I have is the Raccoon. I wanted to get a little more progress on this because it's like my spring stitch, and feels like spring's like gonna be over soon. I don't know. I know it just started, but I don't know. I just feel like things fly, you know, time flies, doesn't it? So here's what it looked like when I did it last. I really only just had a flower and some of the gray, like the lighter gray pattern. I stitched on this for just a day, but I added in this, like the dark, it's not black, but this is like a very, very dark, it's like a slate gray, I guess. Dark slate gray. So I added that curve going up here. I added this little bit here. And yeah, I'm having fun. I think this is gonna be really, really cute when it's done. I cannot wait to do his little hands. Okay, so here's the pattern. Oh, the little hands. I want to stitch those hands so bad. They look like, it kind of looks like a comb. And I love that for him. Sorry, it's very shiny. Anyway, look at his little face. That's cute. This, the flowers, I mean, it's going to be so nice. You know, it'll take me a bit to finish, but that's fine. Slow and steady wins the race, yeah? Okay, the Raccoon. Oh yeah, sorry, this pattern is from Cottage Garden Samplings. I'm sure Everybody and their mother knows that. Because it was part of the very popular A Year in the Woods series. But yeah, I just love this pattern. It's very, very cute. I bought 4 of the, no, do I only have 3 Year in the Woods? Yeah, I'm still trying to decide what I want for my summer one. I'm not going to stitch them all. I've got the fox, I've got the little brown bat, I've got the raccoon, and I need to decide what I want to do for summer. Because I feel like I might as well do all 4 seasons, right? I might do the bear. Like, the bear is really cute. And we do have a lot of bears here, so maybe. Still deciding. Oh, I'm all over the place with this one. So what I'm stitching it on, this is Picture This Plus Vellum. It is a 28 count, right? Yeah, I'm stitching it on 28 count. And this is it's just the DMCs that I'm using. Good old DMC. It's always there for you. Okie dokie. Well, that is all my whips and singular finish. Let's talk about plans. So first up, I'm a little sad about this, but it's gonna be fine. It'll get here eventually. So I am gonna be doing the manningmaysal. That is being put on by 4 of the Flosstubers I watch. So Cam the Stitcher, Marjorie Maid, the Museum Stitcher, and the Seattle Stitcher are putting on a Carolyn Manning sal that they are calling #manningmaysal, basically. And pick a Carolyn Manning piece and have at it. And I actually hadn't really... I have definitely seen, like now that I looked at them, I definitely seen Carolyn Manning designs out there, but I've never purchased one for myself. So I have every intention to do this sal. I have picked a pattern. It is the Sunroom Runner, which I'll put here. And I love it. It is so beautiful. Like, I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll do one of the like kaleidoscope-esque motif things she has. But I kept thinking about the runners. Like, all the runners are so gorgeous. So I'm like, okay, screw it, let's do it. So I picked a Sunroom Runner. I went to 123 Stitch. My mom gave me a gift card. Well, my dad's in on it too, but you know. My parents bought me a gift card to 123 Stitch. I purchased the perfect fabric for it, in my mind anyway, the perfect fabric. I got some patterns, bing, bang, boom, did that couple weeks ago. And that package is just sitting in Chicago. I've ordered from 123 Stitch so many times, and when it hits the Chicago distribution center, which is where it passes through customs, typically it's only there for a day. It's been there for almost a week. I'm like, so unless some miracle happens and like maybe the tracking isn't working the way it normally does, I'm going to be starting the manningmaysal late. Unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. We're still going to be stitching her in May. If my package is ever released from customs. Chicago! Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but it's fine. And if it does turn out that it's like really stuck there, I might just put it on some 14 count white Aida. It's not what I want, but it's going to be what it is. The fabric I purchased, not that it's anything super special, but I didn't want to stitch on a 14 count. I do want to, like, I have so much linen. I don't want to put a full coverage piece on linen. I don't know. I just want it on Aida. I like the uniformity of the blocks in an Aida for a full coverage stitch. And part of me is also like, I don't want to put something full coverage on an expensive fabric with beautiful modeling that I'm not going to see, right? So that's my thinking behind it. And as I've mentioned, Vancouver is like a freaking dead zone for needlework supplies. Like, I have a Michaels, and that Michaels only has 14 count white Aida. So that's going to be there in a pinch. But anyway, the fabric I got is a 16 count. I think it's called like a light, not country mocha, but like light something mocha. And the reason I got that color specifically is because when I finish this project, I want to have a little band going around the runner. And I think there's going to be a couple places in the project where I want the fabric to show through. I'll see if that works as I stitch it, but I think it'll look really nice. So I want that fabric specifically. These are my woes. I'm outlining my woes to you. So woe is me. I likely will not be able to start Manning Maysal on the 1st with everybody, but that's fine. Whenever I do get the fabric, my plan is to do kind of like a Manning May on Mondays kind of thing. So like every Monday, because I'm a big fan of alliteration. I do a lot of writing in my work, and it's corny, but I love it. Let's match those letters up. So anyway, my plan is to work on this Carolyn Manning piece every Monday, at least throughout May, and like we'll see. It's full coverage, right? So who knows how long it's going to take me to finish. I might just continue that throughout the year. I say that now. Plans do change. We'll just see what happens. But long story short, I will be participating in that SAL. I don't know when, but hopefully it's sometime this month. Okay, so other plans are, of course, WIPGO. So as I mentioned, both my polls for this month being May, next month, both my polls for May are the chopping mall again, but it's a little different this time. So one of the polls is to finish a room, and then the other poll is to work on the frame for 5 days, which is great, because I really do need, like, you know, the way the Witchy Stitcher SALs work, and I think a lot of the SALs work, is, you know, they want you to complete the frame outline first and then fill in. I did not do that. I just like dove into the rooms, like, as you can see. And I have a bit of the upper frame, but like nothing down here. So I don't know if I'll work on the roof for 5 days, or if because I'm at the bottom right now, if I just work down here for 5 days. We'll see. So this is definitely up to work on. I really want to get at least 5 days into my Dark Queen this month as well. I'm working on Autumn Lane Stitchery's Dark Queen of the Earth. I am hopelessly behind, but that's fine. I did not really expect to keep up with this kind of SAL just because there's so much stitching. Like, it's just unrealistic for me to expect I can do that. So I'm still on part 3. I'm almost done part 3. It's just a matter of like moving my Q-snap. It's the outer edges of her dress. I could have brought the project here, but it's over there, and I'm just gonna leave it. But it's fine. Maybe I'll put a picture. You know what? We'll do it in post. I'll just put a picture here. So I need to work on the outer edges of her skirt and then pick a side I want to work on. So I think I'm gonna work on the left side, like the bushes and like the tree trunk there, because I think it's technically a little less stitching than the other side. So I'm gonna work on part 5 before I work on part 4. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. And then what else do I have? Oh my God. Okay. I'm so excited. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm participating in my very first cross stitch retreat. It is a digital retreat put on by D's 20 Stitches and Uncanny Kari. It is the Spring Fling, and that is happening next Sunday, and I am so stoked. If you are going to Spring Fling, comment below. I want to know who's going. Tell me. I got my package in the mail. I don't know, when was that? Like 2 weeks ago. And I tore into it immediately. I was like, yes. I'm not going to show you what's in there until after the retreat, obviously, because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But let me just say the contents of this package are freaking awesome. And it is like right up my alley. So I am stoked to work on it. I'm very excited for that. So that I'll include that in future plans, because there's a project involved, and I can see myself stitching on it. I don't know how many months this week. What? I don't know how many days this month I'll stitch on it, but I'm definitely going to be working on it next Sunday. So yeah, that is it for plans for now. I have a little bit of haul that I will show you now. So let's see here. My Mystic Fabrics Fabric of the Month arrived. I get mine delivered to me once every 2 months because shipping is bonkers and we're up here in Canada. So if I can save money on that, that's great. So I got March and April, and I will show you those now. I'm assuming everyone who has this has already seen their fabrics, but if you think this is going to spoil you, I guess maybe stop watching for the next minute. But here's what I got. So I get 32 count Belfast linen. I love a 32 count. And March's fabric is called Time Worn. It looks like this. I really don't know if this lighting will do it justice, but that's fine. Yeah, it's kind of washing it out a bit. It's like a very warm, almost like gingerbready tone. It's a bit cool on camera. That's fine. Oh yeah, that's, ooh, oh God, it almost had it. Just, this is a warmer fabric than what's showing up. Oh yeah, that's kind of, if I fold it in on itself, you're actually sort of seeing more of a, an accurate color there in the center. But it's very beautiful, nice modeling. Kind of looks like a pirate map. Love it. Can't wait to stitch on it. So April's fabric was Biscuit. And that one is like kind of a vanilla yellowy kind of vibe. Looks like that. Another lovely piece. So this year Mystic Fabrics is doing neutrals, which is good by me because I tend, like when I buy fabric, I tend to get like crazy colors and stuff I don't use often, whereas something like this is like, okay, it's more easy to put a project on something like this. Well, that's not entirely true, but you know what I mean? Like, it's easier. You don't have to like necessarily change up colors or anything if you go a neutral route. But anyway, that is Biscuit. Lovely to have them. Fold those up. And the only other haul I have right now is the digital PDFs I purchased from Carolyn Manning's store. So there was a sale when I went to check out the pattern that I might want to do for Manning May. And it was something like get 40% off if you spend $50. So I'm like, don't have to tell me twice. So I bought a few patterns. I got, and I'll just put them up on the screen here. So I got Pompeii, which looks like this. I love anything Italian historical, you know? I kind of like, I don't know if I'm just looking in the wrong places, but I feel like there's not that many, you know what I mean? If you know of any almost like traditional cross stitch that either is like an ode to Italy or I don't know even what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking for those Italian vibes. If you know of some patterns that carry the vibes of Italy, let me know. Put those in the comments and I will check them out. So Pompeii, beautiful pattern. I also got A Year of Bouquets. I was like looking at these thinking, oh, maybe I'll do one of the flowers from one of the months, and they were all just so beautiful. I couldn't pick just one. So I was like, you know what? I'll just buy all of them all together. So I got them all. I can work on them when I want. I think they're gonna make like perfect gifts for people if I wanna like stitch up a little small for somebody. So I have that. I also got Garden Glass. Now this was just gorgeous. This was the one that I was thinking if I wanted to go with a sort of like kaleidoscopy, more mosaic-y motif look that I feel like a lot of people have picked for Manning May. This was very close to being my selection, but I just couldn't get that sunroom runner out of my mind. So we went there, but Garden Glass was like a very, very, very close second. It's just absolutely lovely. I love the colors. And finally, I went with Gingerbread Village. I really had to resist getting the Halloween version of this. I get Halloween everything. I'm like, Michaela, restraint. We have so many Halloween things. So I went with a Christmas one. because I don't really have too many Christmas things. So I went with that. It looks super cute. I don't know when I'll work on it, but it's in the pile now. So we'll work on it at some point. All right, and that is it for haul. Now, before I move on, I want to talk about a little Stitchy Kindness. This is like honestly so sweet. So back when I posted my very first video, I was talking about the patterns that I liked from Nashville, and one of those patterns was 5 o'clock from Ink Circles. And shortly after I posted that video, Stitchy Rin reached out to me and said, hey, I happen to have that pattern. I don't think I'm gonna stitch it. Do you want it? To which my answer was, I mean, if you are gonna stitch it, yes. So they came through and sent me 5 o'clock. Rin, this is so freaking cool of you. Like seriously, amazing, so sweet. I'm literally so excited to start stitching this. I have big plans for this. My friend Aaron, he is like one of the hobbies he picked up during COVID was basically like amateur mixologist. His liquor cabinet is wild, and I go over there and he just makes me amazing drinks. So this to me is like a perfect gift for him. I don't know when I'll start it, maybe July. I have a few starts planned for May and June, so this might be like July 1st or something. I'll start it and see if I can finish it by Christmas. I don't know. I'd really have to focus if that was the case, but look at it. I love it. So Rin, seriously, huge thank you. They are so super cool. They have a pattern shop that you should all check out. I actually purchased one of their patterns ages ago. What is it? It's like, I think it's the original Sailor Scouts. So cute. I loved Sailor Moon as a kid. And when I saw that pattern, I'm like, gotta buy it. I have not started it, but I have it in my stash. So yeah, check them out. They're really super cool. They do Twitch streams a couple times a week of like, you know, Stitch with me. They also do diamond painting. They are also a fellow mutant, a Joe Bob Briggs Last Drive-In fan. I was just watching that on Friday. It's back, everybody. Everybody who watches it. I don't know who watches that. Clearly some people do, but if you have Shudder, the horror subscription service, definitely tune in on Friday nights. You will see some grade A B-list movies. Not even B, like C grade film. But you'll get a bunch of cool facts about them. Anyway, that's my tangent. Huge thank you, Rin. That's so cool. Okay. I think that's it. So you can leave now if you don't want to hear about what I'm reading and watching and playing. All the Stitchy goodness is now done. And I will be back in a couple weeks. My cadence has been like roughly every 3 weeks, roughly every 2.5. I'm still trying to figure it out. Things are really busy, so we're gonna post this and figure out when to do it next. Probably in another 3 weeks I'll film. But yeah, so let's talk about things. Like I said, I'm not doing a lot right now. I'm mostly working. Reading, I have not finished any books in the past couple weeks, but I am reading Cassandra Peterson's memoir. Cassandra Peterson is better known as Elvira, the horror hostess herself. And her book is called, oh boy, what is it called? It's right here. Yours Cruelly, Elvira. Oh yeah. So as you can see, I'm not that far in, but I've been picking it up, like when I have the chance, I'll be on the SkyTrain or something, read a couple pages. I just have not had the mental fortitude to sit down and read for an extended period, but we'll get there. The book so far is really good. It's super funny. I really like Elvira. She is very funny, and the humor comes across in her writing as well. So it's just really cool. She's lived a very interesting life, and I'll let you know my full verdict when I finish it, but I can say an early review, definitely worth it. If you like memoirs and people who've done have had very unique career paths, she's your girl. What have I been watching? Okay, so I have been watching a lot of things. I have not really had space to follow a television series so much other than Ted Lasso. We did start season 3. That's going really good. It's just an easy watch, and it's nice to watch because it's that whole like kindness bomb kind of thing. And it's funny. Season 3, I think, is my least favorite season so far. It feels a little more aimless, but not to say it's aimless, but I just feel like the overall arc of the story is not as strong as it was in the first 2 seasons. That being said, it's still very enjoyable. What I have been watching is a lot of movies, and particularly a lot of really ridiculous horror movies. So I watched Q, the Winged Serpent, which is totally ridiculous and 100% worth a watch. If you like creature films, if you like films with absolutely ridiculous nonsense happening in them, there's like a giant bird. It's not a bird. It's like a dinosaur in New York. No one seems to spot it. Like occasionally someone's like, oh, there it is. It's giant. And it's like just going around decapitating people. It's really weird. Basically, it's like kind of like a crime film built around a creature flick. People are trying to find out, like, whoa, all these people are being ritualistically murdered, and there's also a bird eating people, apparently. What's that about? Anyway, Q the Winged Serpent. It's totally ridiculous. Is it good? Depends on your definition of good, but I really liked it. It's perfect nonsense for me right now. I also watched, what is it called? A Wounded Fawn. I believe it was called A Wounded Fawn. That was really, I'm like, I'll check my phone. I'm filming on my phone, so we can't do that. That was definitely more of a serious horror. It is about a serial killer who, his deeds catch up to him. Let's just say that. He brings a woman to a secluded cabin in the woods with the intention of murdering her. Things do not go to plan. Is it amazing? No, but it's a solid film, and it's a really good, like, girls get their revenge type film. So I enjoyed that. It had some pretty stunning visuals too that I would recommend it on that alone, if you like that kind of movie, you know, the gross, creepy stuff. And outside of the horror genre, I watched Judy Blume Forever. And that is a documentary about the children's author. Well, she doesn't just write children's novels. She's written books for kids, young adults, and adults as well. But I think she's most famous for young adult / kid novels. Like when I was a kid, I loved her Fudge series. Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing was like one of my favorite books. And yeah, it's a documentary about her. She's faced a lot of pushback for the content of her books, both in the 80s and early 90s, and today again. So it kind of loops into the issue we're having now with people attempting to ban books, saying what kids can and cannot read, essentially. Judy Blume is she's very familiar with that from back in the day when she was publishing her stuff. So I adore Judy Blume. She is a super cool human being. 100% recommend this movie. It's great. I watched it on Prime. I don't know if it's an exclusive to that platform, but anyway, it's worth a watch. If you love Judy Blume, check it out. And finally, what am I playing? Not a lot. I have not touched Hollow Knight. Can't deal with that right now. I need easy things only. I did purchase Dredge though, which was a game I had my eye on and that I was talking about in my last video. I played that for a couple nights this month, and it is great. You are just fishing. You're a fisherman. So there's basically like a bunch of islands. things are very weird. They warn you not to fish after dark when the fog settles. And if you do that, some creepy stuff happens. But basically you're attempting to kind of piece together what is going on. So in the day you go out to fish, you catch, you know, different things, you bring it back, sell them, upgrade your boat. You can also dredge the bottom of the ocean to pull up things from shipwrecks to put together more clues as to what is happening. And there's something very creepy and Lovecraftian going on, because if you go out at night, you'll just see eyes on the ocean, and it is very stressful. I'm like, get me back to port. It's super cool. I haven't played a ton of it yet, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It's just a super simple game. It's not very stressful. It's got an interesting story so far, and I want to play more of it. So that is Dredge. I am currently playing that on the Switch. I'm sure it's available on other platforms. It's definitely available on Steam if you play on PC. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. And that's about it. So until next time, everybody, I hope you all have a lovely day, lovely week ahead of you. And I will talk to you in a couple weeks' time. Bye now.